all eyes here in Texas on the pivotal race for governor heading into the final days of campaigning.
And we caught up with Democratic nominee Beto O'Rourke on a Sunday that found him making his case before a number of church congregations.
All right, so 4 churches already this morning. How are you feeling?
I feel good. You know, I'm all about meeting people where they are and not waiting for people to come to us. We are dependent on an historic level of turnout from people, frankly, who have been overlooked, forgotten, written off, or taken for granted. And so we're on the road every single day, going to every single part of the state, trying to talk to every single person about the historic nature of this election. And yet right now, every poll has you trailing Governor Abbott. 8 polls specifically recently have shown you behind. Why do you think that is? You know, I don't know that those polls are going to reflect the historic nature of this election. It's taking place in a state that, because of Greg Abbott, has the most extreme abortion ban in America. No exception for rape or incest or effectively the life of the mother. It's been now 22 weeks since 19 children and 2 teachers were taken from us in Uvalde, and that governor's done not a single thing to make it any less likely that that happens to any other child. Some of the highest rates of inflation in the country happening here in Texas, our property taxes, our energy bills. I mention all of those because I think they are galvanizing effects on the electorate. And not only is it going to turn out people who might never have voted before, but I think it's going to turn out people who might otherwise have voted for a Republican governor. You bring up Uvalde. Should AR-15s be legal in the state of Texas? There is no good reason that anyone should have a weapon of war outside of a battlefield or a theater of war. The AR-15, for example, was first engineered, designed, and sold to the United States military to be able to take out an enemy soldier at a distance of 500 yards and penetrate a steel helmet. Those children in Uvalde, Texas, were at 5 feet at best, nothing on their head but a baseball cap. Their parents only able to identify their bodies by the shoes that they were wearing. I listen to those parents for my guidance. I listen to those Vietnam-era veterans who carried a weapon much like this in war. We don't need that in our communities. Would you outlaw it in the state of Texas? We're going to have to work with what is possible. And I've been listening to my fellow Texans on that subject. So gun owners, non-gun owners, Democrats, Republicans can agree. Raising the age of purchase to 21 is a great place to start. Adding to that a red flag law so that if somebody has a weapon like this and is threatening to use it, law enforcement will have recourse to intervene before it's too late. Add to that a universal background check, which does not exist today in Texas. And you're going to be able to defend the Second Amendment while doing a better job of protecting the lives of the people in our communities, especially our kids in a state that leads the nation in school shootings and where gun violence is the leading cause of death for children and teenagers.
What's going well on the border for Texas right now?
You know, after 8 years of Greg Abbott and these staged stunts like busing migrants to Chicago, to Washington, D.C., to New York, there's not a lot that we can say is good about what's happening on the border today.
I want to make sure you named Abbott, but Biden administration has a lot to do with what's not going well on the border as well.
Absolutely. We need more from the Biden administration. We need more from our representatives in Congress. That's why I propose a Texas-based guest worker program so that if you come to this country, you must follow our laws, and our laws will follow our values, our needs, and our economic interests, matching those who want to come to work with open jobs that we cannot fill here in the state of Texas, a safe, legal, orderly path to come to America. That's the answer to the chaos that we see right now. What's the issue that you believe is the one thing that makes you the candidate for governor, that's going to separate you from Governor Abbott, that's going to make this state better? Is there something that you say, this is the reason why you want me as your governor? Yes, and it's a word that I hear from people across this state throughout all these town halls that we hold, and that word is freedom. Freedom for women to make their own decisions about their own body and their own future. Freedom for children to survive the school year without worrying that a gunman's going to enter that classroom and take their lives or the life of that teacher in front of them. Freedom from oppressive property taxes that now have the average Texas taxpayer paying more than our fellow Americans in California. And freedom to come together and not be defined or divided based on our differences. This campaign, my candidacy, is about freedom and making sure that we win that back for all Texans.
But I have to ask, how's the family?
You know, there's no way to describe this as easy on our family. There are 9 days to go. So we are going to give this all that we can for everyone in this state. And we'll know that within 9 days, the O'Rourke family can be back together again, one way or another.
Is there a vacation planned already? You'll already have something in the works?
Sleeping in my own bed, that's as much of a vacation as I want at this point. And just being with family again will be wonderful.
Yeah, these candidates have been around the clock covering this very large state, so it's a full-time job, and we'll see who actually gets the top job.
And we
in a few
saw
days.
how he gets around the state.
Yes.
His Toyota Tundra that he drives around himself to most of these campaign events. And again, we talk about family there at the end, but he says maybe every few weeks he spends a couple nights in his own bed.
Yeah, and we want to mention to everyone, we did reach out to the office of Governor Greg Abbott for an interview from him, but we did not hear back.
Well, hey there, GMA fans. Robin Roberts here. Thanks for checking out our YouTube channel. Lots of great stuff here. So go on, click the subscribe button right over here to get more of awesome videos and content from GMA every day, anytime. We thank you for watching, and we'll see you in the morning on GMA.